Hello Tigers, and welcome to the TMNtv newscast for Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. Stay tuned for the latest news at Fort Hays State University and around Northwest Kansas and the nation. I'm Lexi Gross, and Jenna Hawley will be here shortly with a look at what's going on around the globe, and Haley White will fill you in on what's happening in the sports world. But first, here's what's making news in Tigerland. A report delivered by a Fort Hays State student in the Student Government Association sparked talks at last week's SGA meeting about the food provider on campus. The report showed Chartwell's recent inspection, which found 12 code violations in the McMidas Hall cafeteria. TMN reporter Corey Lynn says SGA President Brad Demers and Senator Katie Wisely reviewed reports dating back to 2010 when FHSU contracted with Chartwell's. The two found violations have increased throughout the years, with 55 violations found during 15 inspections. Teresa Clounch, who advises SGA, said the director of Chartwell's is looking into the matter and working to make corrections to violations. SGA will continue to keep an eye on the reports and corrections that are made. This semester gave FHSU students their first glimpse inside the new two-story art and design building on campus. The building officially opened in August, and classes have been using the space since. I had a chance to take a deeper look into the new building. A new school year means new additions on campus. Construction on the new Center for Art and Design has wrapped up, and students are already enjoying the new facility. The two-story, 43,000 square foot building provides larger classrooms and a more modern open concept. Junior-senior Morgan Coitz finds learning in this environment easier and less stressful.
All of the new equipment and everything is specialized for graphic design or photography or painting or drawing, and so I really get to understand more about what I'm doing instead of like, I think this is for this, because the old building, you know, you had a lot of outdated products, and now everything's brand new and it's real nice.
Despite minor setbacks with water leaks from flooding earlier in the month, the transition to the new building has been fairly smooth. Professors like Brian Hutchinson have also been enjoying the bright colors and collaborative spaces.
The classrooms have nice high ceilings. It has this sense of space that's very accommodating. And the overall design is really cool. I think it's really working out for our ergonomic needs for sure.
The department also believes this new facility will have a positive impact when recruiting new students and within the community.
When they see that we have top-notch faculty and we have a beautiful facility, and how well this university and this community supports the fine arts, I think that students are going to have an easier time deciding which college should be the best for them, especially if they're looking to really grow in this direction.
The facility will also open up the new Moss Thorns Gallery space in the historic power plant building. The grand opening is set for homecoming week this October. This has been Lexi Gross reporting for Tiger Media Network. The city of Hays got a bit cleaner thanks to a few FHSU students last week. Tigers in Service hosted a trash cleanup to help beautify the city and keep it clean from trash and litter. FHSU students volunteered to help at the event and walked neighborhoods and streets picking up trash. Students primarily focused on the areas between 8th Street and 27th Street. The volunteers also helped pick up trash across the campus as well on September 7th. The run might not be the most fun, but in the end, those participating will receive something special. The women of Alpha Sigma Alpha hosted a bracelet-making event recently for Girls on the Run. The organization focuses on young females from 3rd through 8th grades and pushes them to achieve their dreams through hard work. Girls on the Run also strives to have the girls compete in a 5K run. Once they finish the run, the participants receive a bracelet made by Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority. Last week, the sorority recently made bracelets for future runners. Forsyth Library on campus recently offered a unique event for students to learn more about the facility. According to TMN reporter Riley Breton, FHSU students had the opportunity to not only explore the library, but also to play a little mini golf. Outreach Service Specialist Brittany Squire said the purpose of the event was to showcase a variety of services and resources that are available at the library. For more information on the event, see Riley's story at tigermedianet.com. A little bit to eat, a little bit to drink. That's what the night of September 6th brought to participants in inaugural Barrels and Bites on the Bricks event. The streets of downtown Hays were filled with people as they tasted hors d'oeuvres and sampled drinks. The event was a new twist on fundraising efforts of the Downtown Hays Development Corporation. For more on this event, see TMN reporter Corey Lynn's story at tigermedianet.com. A man who grew up in Quinter and later became the state's lieutenant governor has thrown his name into the race for the big 1st District in Kansas. Tracy Mann said earlier this week he will run for the U.S. House. The seat is currently held by Republican Roger Marshall, who announced he will be making a run for retiring Pat Roberts' U.S. Senate seat. Mann said he plans to focus on agriculture in the state and that he is pro-life and pro-Second Amendment. He served as lieutenant governor under the Governor Jeff Collier. Mann currently lives in Salina with his family. When we return from this short break, Jenna will be here with news from around the globe.
My name is Allie and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
Hello Tigers, I'm Jenna Hawley and here's what's happening around the globe. A week has passed since Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas, but the island still feels the effect of the deadly storm. At least 45 people have died, with hundreds missing and approximately 70,000 homeless. The Bahamas has no running water or power, with aid slowly arriving on the island of Grand Bahama. According to CNN, the only road to the hard-hit east end of the island is still underwater in parts and completely washed away in others. Residents said the storm surge topped 30 feet in some places and tore entire houses off foundations. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has called out e-cigarette company Juul for the false advertisement of their products. The California-based company has been advertising Juul pods as being a safer alternative to standard tobacco products, but without any evidence to support that claim. This type of marketing without FDA approval is illegal and can result in a fine or seizing of their assets. The FDA has asked the company to fix the error in advertising or face the appropriate legal consequences. On Monday, the CIA slammed CNN's simply false and misguided reporting after the cable channel's chief national security correspondent authored a piece claiming the CIA had pulled a high-level spy out of Russia due to President Donald Trump repeatedly mishandling classified intelligence. The CIA rebuke came as the New York Times published a piece later in the evening that largely contradicted the report given by CNN. According to the report given by the Times, the CIA made the decision in late 2016 to extract the source from Russia. This took place weeks before Trump took office. According to Fox News, concerns about media reporting on Russian election interference drove the decision. CIA Director for Public Affairs Brittany Bramwell said in the agency's statement, CNN's narrative that the Central Intelligence Agency makes life-or-death decisions based on anything other than objective analysis and sound collection is simply false. Numerous other holes surfaced in CNN's reporting after several large news organizations' reports were cited. A woman has been charged with the killing of her neighbor with a brick in Blandesburg, Maryland. Hua Ka-Pak had been killed sometime before 7:15 a.m. Sunday. The Prince George County Police Department said Sin Yong-ho is accused of striking the victim multiple times with a brick. She then called 911 to report the murder. According to NBC News, Oh is charged with first and second-degree murder. The incident took place at a senior living facility. Neighbors told NBC Washington the two women were longtime friends. Police said the two women had been in a dispute before the murder, but did not elaborate. The leader of Hong Kong has warned the United States and other countries against interfering with the city's domestic affairs. Carrie Lam said on Tuesday it would be totally unacceptable for Washington or any other country to intervene. She said during her weekly news conference, the Hong Kong government completely disagrees and expresses deep regret that foreign parliaments are interfering in our internal affairs through legislation. We will never allow them to be stakeholders in Hong Kong's internal affairs. The city's protests entered their 14th week Sunday with tens of thousands of people marching through the city's financial district. Protesters submitted a letter to officials of the U.S. consulate urging for greater action to help them. Hours after North Korea offered to resume nuclear diplomacy with the United States, 2 unidentified projectiles were launched towards the sea Tuesday. The launch of the projectiles and demand for new proposals were aimed at pressuring the U.S. to make concessions when talks between North Korea and the U.S. resume. According to South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff and Defense Ministry, the projectiles were fired in the direction of the waters of the northeast coast. The military said South Korea will monitor possible additional launches by North Korea. According to Al Jazeera, authorities had still to confirm the nature of the projectiles, which flew about 330 kilometers before going into the sea. Tuesday's launches were the 8th since late July. They were the first since late August. At least 22 people at a pro-independence rally in Pakistan have been arrested following clashes between authorities and demonstrators. The clashes took place on Sunday near the village of Toronto. The district police chief said police used tear gas on the protesters Saturday when they attempted to get closer to the line of control. According to Al Jazeera, the protesters belong to a faction of the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. The JKLF is a prominent Kashmiri political party that advocates for independence from both India and Pakistan. That's what is happening in the news world this week. Stay tuned for a sports update with Haley White when we return.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, just so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station and then the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, you know, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
Hello Tigers, I'm Haley White bringing you a sports update. FHSU football was unable to secure the first win of the season on the road against Central Missouri as the Mules retaliated from the last time the two teams met when Fort Hays ran away with the season-opening win a year ago. A fake punt at the UCM 13-yard line went 22 yards for a first down, which ultimately led the Mules to a late comeback after trailing to the Tigers in the first 3 quarters. The late UCM scoring led to a 34-30 FHSU loss, putting the Tigers 0-1 heading into their home opener this Thursday against Missouri Western. The Griffins also enter the contest with 1 loss under their belt after falling to perennial power Northwest Missouri State 45-35 in Week 1. The Tigers not only seek their first win of the season, but look to avenge a 23-13 loss to Missouri Western last year. During this week's press conference, head coach Chris Brown discussed how important it is to bounce back from the loss on the road in order to collect another home opening win.
It's just one of those things, either you get it done or you don't get it done. Now, our backs are against the wall. got one loss already, and in this conference, one loss can sometimes cost you a conference championship. Not the playoffs, but for sure the conference championship. So now we got to hope that we win out and somebody beats, UCM. So it's just our kids got to regroup, and they've had some meetings, by themselves the last couple of days, just making sure they're getting everybody on the same page and kind of understand what we're wanting as a coaching staff done as well. So it's just holding them more accountable. We hold them pretty accountable already, but now it's really being more disciplined with everything that we do and making sure they're doing things the right way. So we'll see what happens.
After snagging a 3-0 win during its home opener against Rockhurst, FHSU men's soccer fell to Eastern New Mexico 2-0 on Sunday, ending its 13-match win streak in regular season contests, which started in 2018. FHSU moved to number 12 in the United Soccer Coaches D2 poll, and senior goalkeeper Colin Fish was named the GAC Goalkeeper of the Week after his efforts in the first two contests of the season. The Tigers take on Maryville University for the first time in program history this afternoon at the neutral site of Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City. FHSU women's soccer opened up the 2019 season with a 2-0 loss against Augustana on the road, but were able to capture its first win against Sioux Falls after senior Darby Hirsch netted the only goal of the contest. FHSU comes back home with a 1-1 record after the road trip. Next up for the Tigers is their home opener against CSU Pueblo on Friday night. The matchup is scheduled for 7 p.m. FHSU volleyball opened up its 2019 season at the Eagle Classic over the weekend, where the Tigers fell to both Sioux Falls and Chadron State in 3 sets during day 1, but were able to split day 2 of the tournament, first falling to Montana State Billings in the first match, but topping off South Dakota Mines in 5 sets before ending the road trip. Fort Hays will host the Tiger Classic inside Gross Memorial Coliseum beginning Friday at 9 a.m. FHSU tennis swept Hastings College to open the 2019 season as the Tigers claimed all 9 matches. In doubles play, Aaliyah Ediger and Natalie Lubbers swept their competitors at the number 1 slot, where Macy Moyers and Sydney McAdoo finished in the same fashion in the number 2 position, followed by Kimberly Stone and Grace Holgerson topping at number 3. Lubbers, Moyers, and Ediger swept singles play in straight sets. The Tigers head to Pueblo, Colorado next weekend for 3 matches against Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference teams. The Tigers will face MSU Denver, Colorado Mesa, and CSU Pueblo. FHSU women's golf team earned a 12th place finish during the NSU Golf Classic Monday and Tuesday at Cherokee Springs Golf Course. Taylor DeBoer finished on top for the Tigers as she finished in a tie for 17th place with a 2-round score of 12 over 156, shooting 76 in the first round and 80 in round 2. The Tigers have a week off before competing in the MIAA Fall Preview. That concludes this episode. Tune in next week for another episode of TMNtv. To stay up to date on the latest news and information throughout the week, visit tigermedianet.com. Until then, remember, roar Tigers!